Welcome to the CFG GameCast, episode number 92. I was about to say number 2. A weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and so much more. So show us some love. Give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you on any of our podcast services. That goes a very long way. Or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I got my second injection Thursday, so today's the first day that I've got a little more pep in my step. But yeah, I'm feeling better. I have lost my voice. I sound crunchy. Sorry, guys.
Crunchy. That's a good way of describing it.
Crunchy, yeah. But my birthday week was fun. I had a blast, and I got to play games with people and enjoy it. Thursday, unfortunately, I came home and I just immediately went to sleep. I was exhausted. That shot hit me hard.
What I loved was like how you described earlier about like when you were going to play Mario Party with Doc, and then all of a sudden, like what happened? What happened there?
I played Mario Party with him. It errored out like it did with Smitty, and so nobody won. And like we all had 2 stars, and we were all neck and neck. Okay. It aired out, and right when that happened, it felt like a weighted blanket was like put on me. I was like, I must find a bedroom now. Yeah. I was like, Doc, I gotta go, boy. I'm tired. He goes, what? I was like, I'm heavy. And I hung up the call and I went lay down.
Oh, okay. Yep. So just basically, it's like, okay, I gotta go. Ty, we gotta go with it. Understandable. 13 hours of sleep, though. I mean, dude, seriously, no joke. That shot does do random tricks with your body. It's not even funny. The second shot, but I would suggest to definitely do it like crazy. But we'll go. We'll definitely go. But who is fully immune and is all set to party?
Who?
The 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What is going on, my dude?
Sorry, I may seem a little distracted. There is a technical thing that's happening right now that I'm trying to figure out at the same time. However, things have been we had a blast last night. We played some Mario Party, got down on some Mario Kart with Fishy them, and then went back to Mario Party, played some just some mini games and called it a night.
Oh,
so
no,
it was cool.
What's happening?
Oh Lord.
No, I just fixed to see if what's happening with it, but that's funny.
It did not. Yeah. Other than that, though, that was a great time being able to play with them and whatnot. And then, of course, I ended up picking up Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, here on PS5. I decided to do it on PS5 so I could play it in my bedroom with the lighting effects and stuff like that. I'm still undecided on whether I want to stream it because I really want to be able to go in and immerse myself in that universe, in the characters, all that stuff. So I'm still kind of undecided on whether I'm actually going to stream it or not. But other than that, though, things have been well. Got back past the big project that I had, so like I'm finally able to get back down to stasis a little bit and feel like a normal human being, so that's good.
Yeah.
I love
no complaints.
I love the comments on this. Is hilarious. I will say,
Davis, I can't even see him.
I'll read to you. Davis should moonlight as a mannequin to put himself through college.
I love that. So basically, what you're not seeing on the chat or on the video, if you're listening to this on podcast, like my camera is frozen on Smitty's like recording side. But I'm perfectly fine on on the other one. So if you're, I don't know what's
Davis
going
is
on.
Frozen or just a really good ventriloquist.
Zakara is like,
I was like,
CFG's
sure.
doing his best.
Hold the pose.
I like Zakara's pose. CFG is doing his best Blue Steel impression. I love that one. That's hilarious.
Frozen?
Oh
We
my
hadn't
God.
known.
I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on with it or why it is.
I think it has to do with the
yours
actual.
came back, but his didn't come back for some reason. His just got stuck. Even though what I'm seeing in Discord
It's
Mhm.
I
different.
can see him moving just
It's
fine.
Yeah.
perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Mhm.
So
I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, like why it's.
So maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's my turn on the freeze frame of like when we did it to you when you were away that one time. I don't know. I mean, because cause wait, hold on. Let me try shutting it off and shutting it back on.
That might
All
work.
right.
See, that didn't do. Like it's fine. It's like it's hard imprinted. Like I can't.
Yeah, why
restart
is it
your
switching-
camera source.
Oh, that's weird.
Like I'm looking for a way to refresh it.
Well, can't you
Maybe
just
if I
close?
just
Yeah.
change-
What if you just delete it and then recrop it?
I'm in the meeting.
Yeah, I might have to do that then.
That's probably the best
So-
thing to do.
Oh, there we go. We got you back.
You
Yes.
did. Yes. Okay.
Come on.
Oh no, it
We're good.
didn't.
We're good. Yes, there's nothing.
Is it
you guys
moving?
didn't hear anything. You guys didn't see anything.
What did you? Oh, there you go.
I turned into Shaq. I would love to be tall. Oh man.
I was the best. It was the best 5 minutes of me not blinking ever. If you didn't see that, but still.
Exactly.
Well,
it's like that one "It's Always Sunny" episode where making a murderer,
Yes.
Dennis Reynolds, and he's talking to the cop and stuff, and he leaves, and he just goes back and looks at the camera. He didn't blink for 2 hours.
That's exactly what happened.
It's
So
disturbing.
yes. Oh yeah, but anyways, yeah, my week though was kind of crazy though. So I will say that when Smitty was toggling your feed, the default was a picture of Shaq. Oh, it was. That's right. I totally forgot I had that. So Alexis chat was Shaq temporarily, but yeah. So like but yeah, I went to well, I'm playing Returnal, scaring the crap out of myself. With Returnal, dude, that game is so good. I don't know if that's better. I would say it's better than Resident Evil for me right now. But like I've been having a really good time playing that as well as playing some. I've been just destroying the Guilty Gear Strive demo. I've been playing that on Friday and yesterday. Right now, probably after this, I'm gonna get. I already got my stick with me and everything. So I'm just gonna be still continuing on that grind. But I've been loving it so far. So yeah. Yeah, I've been just messing around with that. And then all of a sudden to cool down, I've just been watching some MasterChef. So
Nice. Yeah.
Can't never go wrong with
That's
that.
like a good, that's a good, like, just relax, not really have to think about anything, watch people get yelled at. It's
a
like-
palate cleanser. Yes, very much so. Very much so. And it's me not yelling at people, but just have Gordon Ramsay just do it all for me. But I know everyone doesn't want me talking about Gordon Ramsay's yelling at their meals. Let's just get on to the normal rigmarole that we normally like to do. So each of us chooses a topic or discussion from the previous week in the world of gaming, or the topic would or could be something that happened in the gaming industry, or it could be just the game itself. And we want you, the listeners and viewers on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Gaming, to be a part of the conversation by just typing in what your opinions on what our topics is inside the chat, and we will discuss with you live. So excuse me. So let's get down to it. Why don't we go with Smitty at the first? What are you bringing to the table, dude?
Yeah, so, and this is kind of, I know this was announced here, I want to say like in 2018, this game Starfield, it's really Bethesda's next big, RPG, obviously taking place in space, and with the acquisition of Bethesda by Microsoft. Here's what I thought. You guys know how I feel about Bethesda. I think they do their fans absolutely dirty. I've played a little bit of Fallout, but I've never really gotten into a Bethesda game. I've never played Skyrim. I've never, none of them games. So I think this could possibly be not only a turning point for Bethesda, because I imagine this is what I was hoping when that acquisition went down. I was like, hopefully they're able to clean out the crap that is Bethesda and they start treating their community better. We know that Microsoft has really made, I feel, a big push into making you know what I mean, listening to what the community wanted out of them as a company, and I feel like they've been delivering, hit after hit after hit, good thing after good thing as of late from them. So I'm really hoping to see some of that influence hopefully make its way into this Bethesda game. And I don't know if it's official, but this game supposedly is going to be a PC and Xbox exclusive. It will not be on PlayStation. So this is our first big look at what Microsoft being, acquiring Bethesda, what that could look like for the future of their games. And it looks like they are going to go that route, which makes sense. Again, give players a reason to want to get on your stuff, to play your games, and the gamers will go over there. Not only that, but now you have all the other benefits of Microsoft and what they've been doing and stuff now wrapped and umbrellaed around Bethesda. So I think this is a good thing. I think this could be huge. There's not a lot of information out on Starfield right now. I know some images leaked here recently. We should get a lot more details, or somewhat more details, as far as this game here at the E3 convention. That's going to be all virtual. We'll be covering that as well. So make sure you check that out.
Ooh, nice segue.
And really, this is going to be a space you like. I love space personally, so I'm excited. I'm kind of a little bit excited about this. Again, I'm very hesitant on Bethesda, and this is not something I like that I'm like I am going to pre-order this. I got to see how it plays out. I got to see who my friends that have that are heavily invested in Bethesda and their games. I got to see what their take is first before even considering. That's where I'm at this point. Because go ahead.
Well, man, the way I look at it with Bethesda is, first off, it's cool that, I mean, I don't think this is a big loss for PlayStation, for Sony, for it to be an exclusive, because with the history of Bethesda on console, their console systems with Sony and Bethesda really didn't work really well with each other. Besides, the only game that I think was probably the most popular for it was Doom. So it sucks that they won't get another Doom, but they got Doom Eternal, and they got the other Doom, and then most people 9 times out of 10 probably played it on an Xbox One or PC anyway. So I don't think that the strength of that is still strong enough for them to be like, oh wow, we got a major hitter for exclusivity or a reason for you to buy the Series X yet. Not quite. Good pick, very strong pick, but I still don't think it's good enough to be to hold an inkling of for a reason to buy the console. But I will say this, because of Bethesda's track record, I have I am going to pick up Starfield. My hype of it is probably not, I don't have any expectations for it, because God knows what, if I have any kind of hype on a Bethesda game, I usually get disappointed. So that's just what normal history just has shown me. So yeah. So so I just think that with them making the move, saying it's an exclusive to Microsoft, to the Xbox, and to PC, it's okay, that's how they were already popular on Microsoft and on PC anyways, as it is. If I got it, I would definitely get it on my PC, So, but I mean, they got it. It's I will see it until I believe it. That's the mentality that I have for this game. So far, I've been burnt by them for so many times. It's not even funny. So, I mean, what about you, Lex? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm under that umbrella. I feel like they put out a good game, and then they always somehow come in and screw it up. I used to absolutely love space and space exploration and all of that. I'm kind of over it in video game format at the moment. I don't know what's up with me in that regard, but I'm tired of grinding. I'm tired of grinding. I'm over it. And putting me on the moon to grind or in space to water my trees in my capsule or whatever. I'm over it. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to take no stupid pictures. Stop it. I don't want to dig any holes. I'm done. I'm tired. Maybe that's the second injection speaking. But I don't know. I'm just do I think it's great that they have what looks to be a beautiful game coming out that's exclusive to PC and their company? Yeah, good for them. Competition only, helps us win out in the long run as consumers. I've been saying for a long time.
They haven't shown anything about it. Like,
from what they've shown, it looks pretty cool.
What? They haven't shown anything.
Much of anything. Yeah, it's literally that the official trailer.
I saw that little video.
Just the planet and like that thing or whatever. But there hasn't we won't get content.
There's something else you showed.
There was there was concept art of the ship, right?
Or something. There was a video there. That looked really cool. This part. This looks beautiful. That looks stunning.
It does.
I think that looks great.
This is
Well, this is a YouTuber called Just Dom, right? But
him showing.
These are screenshots that are not showing official video. Like, that's just it. Like, I don't know. Like, so it's hard to say that we don't know what to, we legitimately don't know what to expect on this game. I have never been in the dark. Like, we've known, how Cyberpunk 2077 was going to be, how it was going to be, first person.
Yeah.
And so, even though we were disappointed when it came out, but we knew how it was going to run. All they've shown us was video. I mean, they haven't shown us game. They haven't shown us anything on when it comes to this kind of stuff.
No, and this could be taken from something else technically, but I mean, if this is what it actually is, it looks great. And I've been saying for months that they need a proprietary game because that's the only way their sales are going to go up.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be it.
But I feel like having a new IP, I feel like this is almost like them. This is an opportunity to push reset and start anew, start fresh, come in hot with something, and this could just be those first building blocks. Again, is this gonna make people go and get that? I don't know, because we don't know what the game's gonna be. Also, I mean, they were talking about this supposedly coming out this year. There is no way in hell I think that this game comes out this year. I mean, there's
not enough marketing
alone. We know that. You know what I mean? That pushed back a ton of game development and game developers on their games. I just have a hard time. And I think supposedly they've been working on this since 2013. Yeah. If they're smart though, again, if they've learned anything from what's been going on, do not try to push this game out this year just to meet some investors' expectations. You're going to end up hurting yourself way more in the long run.
Yeah, but dude, they need something.
To push reset.
They need something, though. Here's the thing, though, because look at it, dude. It's been 6 months, and they still don't have a game. Series X's are still hard to find, but they still don't have a game. To justify this. And then the closest game that they have doesn't even look like it's going to be nowhere near being finished. Then you got Halo Infinite, which missed the mark, a gigantic mark, because their goal for Halo Infinite was to come out the same time the Series X is going to come out. We're already at 6 months, and it doesn't even look like it's going to come out this year. So
it's not coming out this year.
Yeah,
they've already announced it's coming out next year.
Yeah, so that's just, and they're kind of going through the same kind of problem that the Xbox One had, and that's where it's I'm a little shaky on the acquisitions, the processes that they've been pushing out for Microsoft is very impressive. But at the same time, it takes that because of that time it's going to take to make this kind of thing. You're basically saying your system is going to have nothing for literally almost proprietary wise, nothing for literally over 2 to maybe 3 years at the minimum. 2 to maybe 3 years. Maybe the next is this something that we may have to start looking at for the next gen for this kind of thing, and then just depend on your amazing cloud-based infrastructure, and then because that you have nothing, you're disguising your limited game space with the Xbox Game Pass and just giving you the crazy features. I mean, you can only go so far with that, I mean, like, look at PlayStation. PlayStation 5 has one of the worst network infrastructures, but at the same time, they got Returnal that just came out. It's specifically on them. Then next month, they got Ratchet and Clank is coming out too. That's showing off their new system. And then, and that's where I kind of feel like it's just like this is where it's unacceptable. Especially where Starfield should be at for as long as they've been working on this. Like, to not even show anything about this yet, and then yet saying, giving these small tidbits and just trying these sneak peeks and stuff, totally unacceptable, especially as big as a company as Bethesda is. So yeah, I'm not going to give them a pass on this. I mean, like, this is, I think the way they treat their people, the way they treat their community is garbage, and I feel like where they're kind of going with Starfield is like, even though I may pick it up, I have absolutely no expectations, with this new IP. Like, so there's no way you're going to make me disappointed. I'm not hyped about it in any way, but still, I mean, it's just like, I just feel that Microsoft needs to kind of do something better to kind of make you hyped to get to have that Series X or Series S, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I
so
do agree with that. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And I can see why you'd be jaded, especially if again, those that are a part of the community, they've been burned so many times. Like, I feel bad as somebody that hasn't really played any of their games, but watching these people that love these games and stuff and just get completely shat on, basically, is, you know what I mean? Like, it's very disheartening. So, again, I think this could be, at least for Bethesda, I think this could have the potential to be a press restart for them. But again, I think E3 is really they better, you know what I mean, show something at E3 as far as with this. Otherwise, that in itself will be very concerning. But you're right, even at this point, for such a big company, for us to get a little trailer with some, you know what I mean, like, it's like, what is this, dude? Like, what? Come on now.
Yeah,
Come on
it's
now.
like you're showing us early effects that are like this. I mean, because some of these pictures, they look nice, but dude, this is like alpha build. This is like what you're playing right now with Mass Effect 1 back in 2010. So that doesn't give me any hope for like the game, or it's like, oh, there's actually clips, there's art and concept arts and stuff. It's like, dude, this stuff should be like, like further ahead than where we're at right now with this thing. So when it comes out, I'll give it all the old good old college try with Bethesda. I really want Bethesda to be a good company, but man, Fallout 76, how they basically dumped on that community. I mean, they got duped. You almost did, right? Yeah,
one of my friends got me all hyped up about it. Pre-order it with me, all right? And then, like, I kind of sat on it for a little bit, and I started hearing more stuff about it. And I was like, "Whoa, no, I'm staying away from that. Like, that does not sound good."
Elder Scrolls 6 is another one that most people are waiting on, so we don't know where that's at. So I mean, until it's really going to be until I see E3, until they hopefully show more. We'll see where that's going to go. So
yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that was a good topic as always, Smitty. So let's pass the buck. Let's keep this going on. What does Dust say? Can we just be done with high fantasy games for a bit? I would love to. Well, I don't know about high. You know what? I mean, like.
What do you mean? I like high fantasy games.
High fantasy games are good when they're done right. But, they haven't. But, I mean, like, for instance, like, Elder Scrolls Skyrim is almost 11 years old now. And that's what their backing was. If you want like a high fantasy game, play The Other World. I mean, that's a great game. And I think that it's like, or The Outer World. Sorry, not The Other World. The Outer World.
I was like, wait, Other
World? Yeah. So like, I mean, The Outer Worlds is a great game like that. I mean, Warhammer 40K is a hit and miss usually because there's so many Warhammer games that come out. But like,
there's so many of them, I don't even understand. Like, I'm like, what? I don't like
Warhammer is like they I don't know what they do with their developers, but they auction. I don't know if they like auctioned their IP to like 5 different or 6 different developers, and they're like, okay, we're gonna make these different kinds of games. Go for it, that kind of thing. I don't know, dude, but it's like it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, like those kind of games have always been they are very limited, but they don't seem like it's very oversaturated. It seems like when those games are made, they're made and they're there for a long time, you know. Fortunately, like Skyrim is on like 90 different versions. There's gonna be a fridge version of Skyrim here soon. Who knows?
Space games are really intriguing for me because I would love to be able to go into space like IRL.
Oh, I totally agree.
I mean? So like being able to do that in a game, you know what I mean, is always like, it's like I eat that. I eat it up every time. I totally do.
Yeah, like I said, I'm surprised you haven't played The Outer World yet, though. That game I think you would love.
On the list, man.
All right, Lex.
Hi.
Hey, what are you bringing to the table?
Well, I have some bad news. You're going to get in trouble for cheating, sir. They're doing another ban wave on Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Raven Software hasn't been pulling the punches when it comes to all of the bans that they're doing. They have indeed banned over 30,000 malicious accounts across Call of Duty yesterday, bringing us to over 500,000 accounts banned in Warzone. 500,000 accounts, and we know firsthand with our buddy Ducky, he had his account hacked. They cheated, and then his account got banned, and he couldn't get it back. So obviously, when I read this, I was like, wait a second, just wait a second. And sure enough, there have been a number of people that are unfairly banned due to like items that were leaked, not their fault, or cosmetics. And it's not cheating to have those cosmetics, but for some reason it got picked up as such. Unfortunately, a lot of people in that case, there's no customer service really to get a hold of them. Mm-hmm. And even with, hundreds of hours of footage, they'll probably not give you your account back anyways. Which sucks. There is a whole Reddit page about it, people trying to help each other out. But I thought it was interesting. 500,000 and just 30,000 accounts in one day. In one day. I mean, think about how much money that is. 30,000 times 60. You know what I mean? That's a lot. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. I'm a little shocked. That's a huge number. And I mean, if you're going to go out and do that, you have to have a backup team in case things go wrong. You know what I mean? And we've seen that it doesn't go 100% right. So I was intrigued. I was curious what you guys thought.
So like, because given under Ducky's situation, like, I think, like, especially the fact that Ducky did Ducky ever get his account back, or did he just have to start from scratch again? Like, he did all his stuff again.
Yeah, he had to start absolutely from scratch again, because when he finally got to the part in the customer service where they were, going to yes or no to giving his account back, they said no, and their reason was that he was cheating, and he responded, "How could I be cheating if I haven't had access to my account?"
Yeah. Well, I guess we're kind of giving half of the story, but yeah. So if you're not sure, when her friend at Turducken, he had his account was got compromised, and he lost his access to his account by other people. So he filed. It was sold. So he filed a thing with Activision to get his account back, but Activision was slow on their feet to do it. They made him go through hoops and hurdles. Like, some of the dumbest things was, like, he had to show proof that it was his account. By showing proof, instead of showing like the receipt or showing maybe the account, the original account information, they told him that they needed to send them video of him inside his account. And send it to them to see. So he has hours. Thank God that he was a streamer. He had hours of that, of said video. And then even after all that, took him a while. Then they said, "Oh no, we can't give you the account back because it was flagged for cheating." And I'm like, Yeah, because it wasn't me. It wasn't me doing it, and yet they still did. They never gave his stuff back. So he had to start. He started all over again. So first off, I have to say Ducky is a saint to do that, because if a company did that to me, I would have just said, well, Call of Duty, you're on my list. I'm not doing it. I'm not supporting you anymore.
He was like that for a while.
Yeah,
he still doesn't play it as much as he used to, for sure.
Yeah, because that is effed up from the most part. But but I will say this though, good for them on trying to curb the cheating on it. That's cool. But the downside I have is the fact that they're still doing their mentality of how aggressive they are on this is still kind of not warranted, because that means that you're saying that you're getting stuff early. It's not your fault. You got the stuff early from a flag from the game itself, and yet you're still going to get flagged for cheating on that. And then if you got to go through the hoops and hurdles that our friend Turducken did to get your stuff back, which is insane, because no one, there's an easier way of doing this kind of stuff, especially with two-factor authentication and showing proof that this is your account. Then they're saying you need to show recording of your account is ridiculous. That means that means that they do not care about the who is on the account, but rather, hey, we got the $60 from you, so we're already good one way or the other. And I just think that mentality is just it's sickening. And I hope it catches up to Activision someday, really, to be honest with you. I mean, there's already proof that 25% of player base have been leaving Blizzard because of the way it's being slowly treated. And but still, I really feel like if they're going to be treating people like this still, and hopefully people are going to be waking up to it. But 500,000 overall hackers insane. What do you think, Smitty?
That is a ton. Not only is that a ton, and that's just because there's a market out there for these cheats and hacks, and we know that. I think recently over in oh my goodness, it's a country, it was somewhere over in Asia, but they recently closed down one of those cheating rings that were going, and they'll sell cheats and stuff like that. So it's definitely a lucrative business. I do like the fact that they're being aggressive about it, but again, going back to Ducky's situation, he can't be the only person that's encountered that. You know what I mean? And
there's hundreds of Reddit posts. There's a whole Reddit section for issues with Activision, specifically with Call of Duty accounts. Because a lot of these people can still log in, but someone else is playing the game when they're logged in. And so that other person's going to eventually try to change passwords, but not have email to actually do that, because two-factor wasn't a thing, I think, until last year. I don't think it was a thing.
It wasn't mandatory.
You could only attach it to your Twitch account once a year. And so they took it off his Twitch account, and that's what started the whole wait a minute. And hey, you're on, but you're
once
at work.
Once a year? Wow.
And that was the whole thing why he couldn't pull his account back and kick that person out, change passwords, right? Because he couldn't reattach it to his Twitch account. And not being able to do that was the whole issue. And they didn't want to. But there's hundreds of people on Reddit, and that's what's so you have to have a backup team, you have to have a team to help support the people that got screwed up. Well,
I think ultimately they're going to set themselves up to start getting sued and for lawsuits, because they're going to piss off someone enough that's put down enough money to where they just lose some account on something bogus like that, and they'll be able to kick up enough stink or get something going, because clearly this is not a one-off deal. And anytime, especially with there being monetary value behind these accounts, I think that then makes them, there's got to be some sort of way of being able to rectify that, whether it be by them looking up IPs, it's been on this IP for 15 years up until this one point. I think that's pretty simple. You know what I mean? Again, I don't know, because I don't know that kind of stuff, but I would think that they would have something in place to be able to then verify people's accounts and then go after the people that are doing this kind of grimy stuff.
Well, now they do.
Now these people,
I mean, because so when Ducky had all this issues and stuff, Ducky didn't initially have the two-factor authentication, and then when he was trying to add it, was because in the process of adding it, didn't Activision change their process in halfway in the middle of all of this? Because now it's not possible the way that the way how Ducky got hit. It's not possible to do that now because two-factor authentication is now mandatory for that, right?
But I know that at the time, two-factor just become a thing, and he hadn't done it quite yet. It was only a couple weeks that they'd had two-factor, if that. But the main issue was that it got disconnected from his Twitch, and you can only connect it to a Twitch account once a year, and he had done that 7 years prior.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, isn't that weird?
That's so weird.
Yeah, and in their bylaws, I mean, they're basically we have the right to tell you no. We have the right to refuse your service, even if you paid for this. We have the right to not assist you in any way. If you look at the user agreement, I mean, you're basically signing it saying, I don't really care if you don't care, And that's, I don't like it. Great, you're getting people for cheating. Awesome, love that. But at the same time, you have to have something in place to help with weird issues like this, because there's going to be one-offs, if you said it's mandatory now, that's great. Again, that wouldn't be an issue, but make it harder for hackers to sell accounts. Ducky could still sign in and see that his account was playing.
So he couldn't change his password?
No, because if he did, regardless, he couldn't reattach it to his Twitch account. So then he could they told him not to. They told him not to. And that was a weird thing, because I was your password, kick him out. And he was it's not that simple. He has it attached to his Twitch. So that would just screw us both.
Yeah.
Regardless,
the person attached it to their Twitch?
Yeah.
Correct.
You couldn't wait. So did Twitch have any involvement in any of this?
I don't think so, but I know I reported him. Yeah.
So I mean, I said,
a third-party issue.
Well, once again,
He's so salty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
you can go to their Twitch, and
they
then
yeah,
they probably end up getting banned.
Well, once again, though, like I said, now since they changed their policy, it's that policy that shouldn't happen. Yeah, that shouldn't happen anymore. I'm not gonna say it will never happen again, because God knows what's gonna happen. Overall, but kind of getting back to the top, the big thing, overall, it does suck. That's just saying that the aspect of what Activision needs to do for the people that shouldn't get banned or locked out, because when you get kicked out of Call of Duty, you can't get into it at all. So you're basically saying, here's the $60, you're gone, and then that's it. We're going to keep your money, and then boom, here you go. They essentially said, like you were saying, 500,000 accounts. They paid $60 each for this account, and there has to be errors from this, and there's no disputes, like the way they do their disputes, because we know firsthand how they treat disputes is garbage. Is yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. What? That
has nothing to do with my account. Now you have to do cartwheels too. It's wait a minute.
I know, right?
Oh, crazy people. But
Activision's do you have a fax machine? It's we need you to fax this P.O. box number in California. Once you get it from a guy named named Thick Bigums.
Thick Bigums. That's right.
Then
he'll give you the secret access code for the wall.
There's a secret access code that will take you to a metro to go get this burner phone to call the Activision customer support line. They may be rude to you, and then they just stop there. Yeah. There you go. But but we'll definitely see how that goes, man. But well, I'm just glad I'm not a big FPS battle royale person, so I don't have to deal with this stuff and dealing with Activision. So We already know that's a headache in itself. So, oh my gosh. Well, yeah. Well, good job making us angry there, Lex.
Thanks. What about you, Davis? What's your topic, sir?
My topic is I forgot. I'm just kidding. My topic is about Marvel Avengers. So, so as you know, I played Marvel Avengers recently. Had a real fun time in the story mode, and now I beat the story mode last week. So now I could do now I'm on my way doing the expansions. So I'm doing the expansions right now, having a good time. And the big thing I really wasn't worried about it because I bought the game for $20, which I would suggest that is the perfect pricing point for this game. Don't pay anything more than 25. 25 is the highest I would ever go on this, but anything higher than 25, I don't think it's worth going to. But you now the thing that made Marvel Avengers in the news in gaming was that their microtransactions were incredibly aggressive when it came to the cosmetics, the cosmetics to it, but because of their aggressiveness, and then because of the not because of the microtransactions itself, but to get stuff or to there was a grind fest at the end of the game that allowed you that forced you to kind of be like, all you're doing is grinding at the end of the game and that's it, like for end game and stuff. It got old, repetitive, and kind of tune people out, like turn people off to it. So but if you play for the story, if you play for the different things, if you're not planning on buying anything, good game. It's a good game. Not amazing, but good. But they just recently announced that Marvel Avengers actually has a brand new 2021 roadmap. So that means that they're actually moving on, still supporting the game, which is amazing from it, because from the most part this game had a steep downhill of unique players later on in its lifetime. So I assumed that they were going to do a one and done after this year. That was it. But they actually have a lot more story to still be doing. And to be honest with you, like the story, like I said, story mode, they are hitting it spot on the story modes. I'm digging the Kate Bishop story mode, even though wasn't a big fan of Kate Bishop. And the future imperfect story mode that introduced Hawkeye, great deals on it. So that is the force of it. For me, I'm waiting for Black Panther, which is coming in fall, I believe, this year. So they're doing it. But they did announce recently that they are going to be that they're still expanding after this. They're going to be they're expanding. I believe it is four more stories for this year alone. So in May, there's going to be a new one called The Red Room, probably because the Black Widow movie is coming out here in a couple of months.
Redheads Unite. What?
Yep. Then you got the Cosmic Cube, which shows more about the new leader of AIM, as well as Wasteland Patrol and War for Wakanda. I think War for Wakanda is going to be the big expansion. The Red Room, Cosmic Cube, and Wasteland Patrol are the small mini ones. That's going to be okay, just wait. Just wait a little bit. Just be patient. And here's little small tidbits and events that you can be doing towards it. So the balance of it is perfect. So I think that what they're doing with Marvel Avengers plans is great and stuff. So I just wanted to see what y'all thought about this.
Watch Adam play it. I enjoyed it. I mean, even the glitches are pretty funny. He started playing this, and I feel like we've talked about this before. He started playing this right when I got COVID, and every time, that bless his soul, he would pause it to come help me. It would crash. So he was constantly crashing his own game. But we've kept up with it, and everything they've done has interested me. I'm a huge Marvel fanatic. I haven't played it because I'm behind in the comics, and so I kind of wanted to catch myself up a little bit.
There's no way you're going to catch up on the comics. There's just so many.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, as far as different ones, yeah. Yes. But the main storyline, I'm not too far off, but yeah, no, it looks really cool. I haven't had the time to sit down lately and play it, but it's definitely something that's on my radar as a as a wish list item, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But like,
But everything they have lined up looks good so far.
yeah, I think the best things I love about this thing is exactly what Monkey Blood says, which is what's great is that you don't have to pay for any of it.
Yes.
Like the expansion itself are all free towards it. So I definitely love that. Kit Sanders says, if the next character they introduce is another archer, I'll be disappointed, but not really surprised. That is true. It's like they are basically 2-0 right now for archers. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, which is that was kind of weird, but this is definitely, I think, brings some confidence to this game. The fact that they have a roadmap out there. I think this game, this IP, is too big for Square to let fail. Square, I don't think Square steps away from this, and they will, like I said, they will keep pumping into this until it is successful. Merely because of the fact that with the success of the Marvel universe and this and that, they'd be fools to let go of something like this. So this is definitely encouraging. I'm very much on the same boat as you. I wish they would have put more into the story and not even worried about multiplayer. The multiplayer experience to me is very lackluster. And I could go without it. The story was absolutely incredible. Again, we're playing this to be able to play these heroes that we've, grown up watching or this and that. Not only that, but they're also telling it's almost like a timeline, you know what I mean? A separate timeline that we're getting to see these heroes experience these new stories and stuff like that, which is really awesome. The graphics are amazing. The fighting, the gameplay is amazing about it. So I'm glad that they're continuing to pump into this. I think it's a great game. You know what I mean? Like I've had it since the jump off, but again, it has become very repetitive. So to see that they're introducing more stuff, to see there's the Wakanda expansion coming, which is going to be our big DLC, and the fact that it's all free, now is definitely the perfect time to buy in, like you were saying, for a low price for something that I believe they are not going to let fail. And it'll be interesting, what they've learned since the game has come out. You can already see that they're applying some of that stuff that they've learned from their failures into them moving forward with the future of this IP. So I very much so. I think there's a lot to come with this. I think this game has a ton of potential. The playing power of it is there. The story of it is there. Again, I don't see this failing. I don't think and even though there's the big drop off and stuff like that, these are the kinds of things they're going to pull people right back in, and people are going to say, now it's worth the grind. Now it's worth doing this. Now I could see a clearer path as far as what's going on with this game. So
yeah, but but there's a balance. There's a kind of a weird balance when it comes to that, because the reason, they basically already announced that this game was a flop back in the beginning of the fourth quarter, because they didn't get nowhere near the expectation of what this game was. But because this game was a AAA title specifically for Square, but they didn't get it because of the publicity of the bad publicity. Don't get me wrong. I think that I totally agree with you that I think that when you reduce the price of the game, it's going to bring more people to come into it and may be able to get more people in towards it. But I don't think that it could save the game to a point where they could say it's going to be successful, or for them to justify making a sequel to it like Avengers 2 because of how disappointed they were about it,
But what if they don't make an Avengers 2 though? I don't think it's necessary if you're building in something. Again, you've made essentially like a live service game, right? Build in off of that infrastructure. You don't have to make a sequel. You just build it all into that game until, either you can no longer do that and the technology has well surpassed what you're working with, and then it would make sense to do that. Otherwise, I don't see why you don't just continue adding into this. And that's what I mean as far as your typical game. I can see where, you know what I mean? It's this just flopped out. But I still think that there is time and room for this to be a successful game where we're talking about it later on going, hey, remember when it was trash when it first came out?
But that's a weird, but the line is where it's coming down to, because you need to have people to be actively, consecutively, playing the game to justify, the the build for the next expansion. Like for instance, like when they said, okay, because like for me and my own personality, when they said specifically that drop off after the first month was 90 something percent, I thought this game was done. Because I was like, right. Okay, because it doesn't justify them to be like, okay, we need to make more content for this game, but there's only like 1,000 people playing it, you know? Right. So like they were gonna, so I was just thinking that they were gonna either half-ass it, or they were going to be like, we're gonna go with what we were planning on working with, and then after that we're done. So like, so that's the mentality I thought that's what they were going to be going with, for this. But then now, like, unless they give us like better numbers and stuff, I don't know if this game is going to justify them to still like, because right now they said 2021, and it seems like and it says that it shows that summer and beyond, towards that. I don't know if that's going to justify them to be like, okay, what's going to happen in 2022 when the game comes out? But yet there's only like maybe a handful of people playing the game. That's why I was thinking the only way that they would do that is if they fix their trials and errors that they did in the first game, and then maybe implement that in the second game, because they know there's a couple of things that still, like, even though this game is good, like story mode wise, there's certain things that they need to fix, like the grind fest, the like the multiplayer for the different kinds of things. Like they can learn better from what they did on their first mistake, is what I'm saying, is why I look at, is the way I look at it. But I don't know if they would do that because of how much money they pumped in on this. You know, it's a little interesting, but yeah. So yeah, that's how I was looking at it.
Because it could be a gauge too. You know what I mean? As far as like, this is here's what we got. Basically, time for if we can build the player base back up. If we can't do it, we walk away from it by the time War of Wakanda comes out. And if the numbers aren't hitting, then maybe they look at it. But I just feel like they are very much in a place where they'll put in what they need to put in to make it into a successful game, or what could be. But I understand what you're saying as far as just then taking that and then moving forward with it. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. It just seems like it would be a waste to walk away from this with so much, you know what I mean, that I feel like can be done with it.
Yeah, but it's like,
if you look beyond the War of Wakanda, for me, you know, we've got a universe of villains and heroes to choose from. They need to be more aggressive about their drops, about their roadmap, incorporating people and things like that. That to me is where it became very stagnant. Just, you know what I mean? And not only that, but you're fighting a bunch of bots.
Yeah.
I don't even have any kind of connection.
See, and that's what I'm saying.
Who the bad guy is.
Exactly. Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it'd be better to just put a patch on it, but rather improve on a new game towards it, because right now the damage has already been done. It's kind of like I said, go back to Cyberpunk 2077 somehow again. It's like when the damage was already done on like how Cyberpunk's release was so bad. I mean, still to this day, you can't buy a digital copy of Cyberpunk on the PlayStation. That's got to be hurting them towards that. Like they could fix it. It could be the perfect game, but that doesn't necessarily mean people are going to come back to it and be like, okay, here we go. We're going to actually play the game now. And they're going to get the numbers that they were wanting to get initially, you know? I mean, the damage has already been done. So it's either like you just say, leave it where it's at. There'll be a time to say, stop what you're doing. And then let's improve it by the sequel. Or something like that, because like you were saying, like the aim bots and stuff was like you're mostly fighting robots and you're maybe fighting a couple of aim people, but other than that, you're right. I mean, it wasn't great, you know. So yeah. So I mean, like that's where I was at with it. But I'm glad that they haven't failed on it. The only thing that I will say, and this is not to Marvel, give us a freaking roadmap for Outriders. That's what I want. Like, how can you not have a roadmap for Outriders? You have a roadmap for Avengers, but not for Outriders. So, like, right now, because I'm at a point where it's like, why am I doing this at the end? I've been doing endgame stuff for almost a month now. What am I building up for at this point?
I have no idea.
Give us something.
Collect all the legendaries, buddy.
Oh,
that
my.
was part of their thing, too, though, was that they're like, well, this is basically the game. if people respond positively to it, then we'll look at doing more.
Mhm.
I would like to feel I feel like I'd be naive to think that they don't have something already planned and they're just I mean again, dude, I've tried to be on their side for as long as possible. But we are over a month deep from launch, and there's
Mhm.
still people that can't
Yep.
get into their
Nope.
things. Although Kenobi was able to get into his account, but there are people still reporting they can't. We got the
Mhm.
legendary drops and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, after I'm about 150 hours deep into the game. And
Yeah.
really all it is right now is just getting I still haven't done Eye of the Storm. Hopefully maybe Dust we could do that tonight. And but after that it's literally just getting all the different legendaries. And
Mhm.
it's just like, all right, I guess that's it. That's why I've kind of slowed down a bit on it because it's like at this point I'm just gonna burn myself out just doing the same things, killing the same enemies. You know, it's like there are some cool things legendary wise that I do want to get, but it does then start bringing up the question, well, what the hell am I getting this for if there's nothing
What's the point?
after
Yeah.
that?
So we'll see.
Go kill Zagak again? Zagak.
Oh God, it's so
I'm good.
ridiculous. Okay, but anyways, there's my rant for Outriders. But yeah, but keep it up, Marvel. I'll definitely play your free DLC as well because I am not paying a cent for you anymore. But Lex,
Yes.
what do you have planned for the week?
I don't know. I think I'm almost done with Inside, and then after that, I don't know what the heck we're gonna play. I'm gonna have to find another spooky game.
Resident Evil
Um,
7.
I know.
Not 8. Not 8. Have you played? You haven't played 7 yet, though, have you?
No. Is that
Yeah.
the starter to Village?
No, that's the house.
Oh, I don't want to play that one. I've seen that one. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
How about?
If
Okay.
I played the one on Game Boy, right?
Mhm.
Hopefully my voice comes back this week. I
Wait,
played the
are you
one.
talking about Resident Evil Gaiden, the one when you're on a boat? That was a terrible one. What?
That's what I played. But that's the only one I've played. I've watched everyone else play them. I used to not be that big into yeah, this whole zombie thing is like I'm like, it's over with. But the village, I'm like, wait, there's supernatural things and magic.
Yeah.
So
And Lady D.
9-foot women with big tatas I can stare at.
Jesus.
Yeah, Diablis.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know that price tag for 10 hours. That's it. For 10 hours, I pay you $60 here. I don't know about that. So yeah, I don't know what I'm doing next week. Probably the same old.
Although Dog did give $1 million idea, it's like I'm surprised they haven't gone with after Inside is Outside.
They're probably
So
because the first one is called shoot, what's it called? Limbo. There's Limbo, and there's
Oh yeah.
yeah. Maybe next will be Outside.
Keep in mind, Limbo came out almost 8 years ago, and Inside came out in 2017, 2018. It's
dates.
yeah, so it's like it's crazy. Oh, real open beta, really? Oh wow. Okay, cool. Well, cool. Well, hopefully you figure it out. We'll watch. How about you, Smitty? What do you have planned for the week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on that Mass Effect grind. Running through those. We are gonna look to get some. I'm out of town here next couple weeks, so I don't know how much playing I'm gonna be able to get done per se. But definitely that, and then Returnal. I'm still playing Returnal. I finally got to like close to the end of the second biome, and I ended up dying. I was so salty, and I haven't gone back since because I didn't have it in me. Because I was up forever, dude. Like it was like a good 3 hours deep on this one life, dude, and I'm so mad at myself. But yeah, so probably a lot of Mass Effect. And then just try to grind through that game and run through that series. So other than that, though, not a whole lot. Just living. Excited not to have a show that I gotta edit this week. So that's awesome. What about yourself, brother?
Good deal. Well, I am going to be continuing on my Returnal run this week. So I am going to do it like I always do, Returnal for the first 3 days. And then I will finish the first Ratchet and Clank. I feel like I'm going to be done with Ratchet and Clank this Thursday. The remake on the 2016 one. Gotta keep that in mind. It's the 2016 one. Even though the graphics look amazing on that game, I will say for it. It's the one that came out 5 years ago for when the movie came out. So, but it is a really fun game. I'm not sure what I'm going to do Friday. I was going to do a Guilty Gear beta yesterday, but I had some family stuff to take care of. So, I think I might do a special Guilty Gear beta stream tomorrow morning / afternoon. I'm not sure yet. So I think that it's so that's basically my plans for it for the most part. So let's definitely stay tuned on that. Oh man. But guys, thank you for listening to episode number 92 of the CFG Gamecast. Thank you for being so much a part of the conversation. We will be back again next week. If you missed us, that's okay live, but we will release this episode on every Monday on all podcast services. You can check it out on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, what have you. We're on it. There's no reason to not hear our sexy voices. So definitely check us out there. Goes yeah, there you go. Yeah, then but we'll be back again next week with some more awesome topics. We would love for you to be to check us out. And if you missed any of that, go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, for everything geeky. So once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing off. Y'all take it easy.